2 seconds. I'll get everything into the chat. Okay. All the stream links are in the chats, so we can go ahead. Welcome everybody to the Ultimate Formula. Today, something a little bit different. We are going to be revealing the tracks for next season for all 3 divisions. They all are going to have a different track order, all random of course, so that none of the tracks overlap each other. So each week we should have a different track for each division. Makes things a little bit more interesting and a little bit more exciting. So without further ado, let's begin. I have a random number generator in front of me and I have all the tracks written down, so I shall just pair them up and we will go from there. So we will start with TUF 3, 3rd division, newly formed of course. Looking forward to seeing the boys in there racing hard, trying to get promoted to Division 2 and Division 1. So let's begin. So here we go. So number 4 is first, which is going to be Russia. Let's get that up here. Russia is going to be the first one, followed by number 14, which is going to be Singapore. So, a couple tricky tracks there. Number 3 is going to be number 12, which is going to be Belgium. Great track, this one. One of my favourites. Number 4 is going to be 18, so Mexico is going to be the 4th race of the season. Usually at the back end of the calendar. So that's number 18. Next we have Australia. So not starting off with it, but it is pretty close to the start of the season. Next we have number 5, which is going to be Spain. Followed by number 3, which is going to be Bahrain. So we are starting to get some of the earlier tracks pop up. That's number 3. This is Division 3, by the way, guys. TUF 3, in case you are tuning in. Followed by number 7, which is going to be Canada. Tricky track, that one. After that is number 13, which is Italy. Monza, brilliant track. Number 17 follows that, which is going to be USA. Following that is going to be Baku, number 8. Baku, love it or hate it. It's a pretty good track, pretty tricky. After that we have number 16, which is going to be Japan. Suzuka. Brilliant track with these cars. After that we have number 6, which is going to be the infamous Monaco. So Monaco coming in there towards the back end of the season. Usually we know it for popping up earlier on. Tricky track. After that we have number 11, Hungary. So Hungary follows Monaco. Two very tight tracks, difficult to overtake, so strategy is key, undercut is key. After that we have number 19, which is going to be Brazil. Another tricky track to overtake on. A little bit easier than the other two. Following that we have number 15, which is going to be Malaysia. Let me just find it, there we go, Malaysia. Following that we have number 2, going to be China. Next up we have got number 10, which is going to be Britain. Next we have number 20, which is going to be Abu Dhabi. So Abu Dhabi still remaining towards the back end of the calendar. Well, second to last. It usually is the last race of the season, but the last race of the season this year is going to be Austria. So we finish with a really quick track. So here we go, this is the calendar for TUF 3. Starting with Russia, Singapore, Belgium, Mexico, Australia, Spain, Bahrain, Canada, Italy, USA, Azerbaijan, Baku, Japan, Monaco, Hungary, Brazil, Malaysia, China, Britain, Abu Dhabi and Austria. That is the TUF 3 calendar for next season. So let's reset this and go again with Division 2. So we have number 14 at the very beginning, which is going to be Singapore. I saw Corey typing in the WhatsApp group earlier. They like Singapore, so he's going to be pleased with this. Singapore, the first race of the season. Not my favourite track, by the way. Really don't like it. So that's great for me. Following that we have number 10, which is going to be Britain. Known for its wet conditions. Tricky track in the wet. Quite exciting in the dry. Next we have number 8, which is going to be Baku. So 3 interesting tracks to start us off. After that we have number 20, which we all know what number 20 is. It's going to be Abu Dhabi. So nice to see Abu Dhabi quite early on in the calendar. It's going to be weird to race it where it's not at the end. After that we have number 9. Number 9 is going to be Austria. As I said, great track. I know everyone's hoping for Monaco to be at the end. All the TUF 1 drivers, I guess. We shall see where it ends up. Number 18 next, which is going to be Mexico. Number 18. There we go. Next, we've got number 4, which is going to be Russia. Sochi. Number 4. Following that, we have number 3, which we all know what number 3 is. It's going to be Bahrain. Following that, we have number 7, Canada. Next up, number 17, which is going to be US of A. Don't get wing damage around here. That's all I can say. Next up, number 2. Another one we all know what this is. China. Following that, we have number 15, which is going to be Malaysia. Personally, I'm quite happy it's gone for next season. Not a fan of this track too much on the game. That's Malaysia. Next, we have got number 16, which is going to be Japan. So 3 interesting tracks there. Following that, we have number 1, Australia. Next up, number 19, Brazil. Don't know why I keep saying it like that, but I'm going to remain saying it like that. Next up, number 5, Spain. Following that, we have number 6, which you guessed it, Monaco. Next we have number 13, which is going to be Italy. After that, we have number 12, which is going to be Belgium. And last but not least, we have got number 11, which is going to be Hungary. Not too excited about that, to be honest. Boring final way to end the season. Maybe that's just because I'm bad around there, actually, come to think of it. So there we go. Oh, I'm missing the track. I'm missing the track, actually. Let me just make sure. 10, 8, 17, 5, 6. Right. If I forgot to put a track in the list, it's not a big deal. I've written them all down, so it's not a big problem. Alright, let's get rid of all these. Next up, Division 1. The quickest league we have, quickest division. Let's see what we're going to get. So, I'm going to start off with number 8. It's going to be Baku. Next we have number 19, which is going to be Brazil. Next up we have number 12, which is going to be Belgium. So a good opening section of tracks there, set of tracks there I should say. Next, number 2, it's going to be China. Following that we have number 18, which is going to be Mexico. Next up, number 11, which is going to be Hungary. Following that we're going to have number 15, Malaysia. Malaysia. There it is. Number 3 comes next, which is going to be Bahrain. Next up, number 17, which is going to be USA. Followed by number 5, which is going to be Spain. Number 4 is next. It's going to be Russia. And after that, we have the infamous number 6, which is going to be Monaco. So, not too bad. Canada looking nice so far. We've got Baku, followed by Brazil, Belgium, China, Mexico, Hungary, Malaysia, Bahrain, USA. A lot of tricky tracks towards the front end of the season. And then we've got Monaco, obviously, almost at the halfway point, just to throw everything up in the air. So that was Monaco we finished on. Next up we got number 20, which is going to be Abu Dhabi. So Monaco and Abu Dhabi next to each other should make things very interesting. Number 10 is the next one, which is going to be Britain. Number 16 follows it. Japan. Suzuka. Number 9, next one, which is going to be Austria. The Red Bull Ring. Next up, number 7. It's going to be Canada. Next we've got number 1, which is Australia, my fault. Followed by number 14, which is Singapore. And then rounding us off is going to be number 13, which is Italy. So there we have it. Division 1. Take your screenshots. Get practicing. Starting off with Baku, then going to Brazil, back to Belgium, then to China, to Mexico, Hungary, Malaysia, Bahrain, USA, Spain, Russia, Monaco, Abu Dhabi, Britain, Japan, Austria, Canada, Australia, Singapore, and then the fastest track on the calendar, the best way to end the season, we have got Monza. So that should be a lot of fun to watch. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Maybe I can answer a couple of questions while I'm still going. Let's have a little look. What are people saying? Let's have a little look. Yep, different calendar for each division. Spices things up a little bit. It means that you can't copy strategies from other races. We've caught on to that. If anyone's got any questions in the chat, feel free to fire away. I'm going to stay on for the last couple minutes. The last race in Division 2 is number 11, which is Hungary. Hungary is the last race. Here you go. I will quickly do the calendar here so you can see. 14 was Singapore. Next one's 10, which is Britain. Next was 8, which was Baku. Next was 20, Abu Dhabi. Number 9 was Austria. Followed by 18, which was Mexico. Next was number 4, Russia. Number 3 was next, which was Bahrain. 7 followed that, which was Canada. Number 17 was next, which was USA. Number 2 was China. Number 15 was next, which was Malaysia. 16, which was Japan, was next. Number 1, Australia, was after that. 19, Brazil, followed. 5, which was Spain, next up. Oh, going the wrong way. 6 next, which is Monaco. We've already got that there. 13 was next, which was Italy. 12 followed that, which was Belgium. And the final race of the season was number 11, which means it's going to be Hungary. So there you go. I did mess it up the first time. Thanks for pointing that out. But here you go, here you have it. If you want to write it down yourselves, feel free. I've written it down also. There we go. So, 3 interesting tracks at the end. They are pretty close together in the normal calendar. 2 quick tracks, 1 tricky track. So unless there's any questions in the chat, I'm going to call it here. It is an interesting calendar, starting with Singapore. I'm not personally too happy about that. Britain, okay. Baku, okay. Abu Dhabi, not too bad. Austria, great track. Mexico, a little bit boring. Is that alright to say? Couple long straights and 1 little section of windy corners, and that's about it. Russia, I like Russia, but it's got a lot of 90-degree turns. Bahrain, love it. Canada, love it, but not very good at it. USA, love it. China's a great track. Malaysia, not a fan. Japan's great track. Australia's great track. Brazil, Spain, Monaco, all pretty great tracks. Monaco's a bit tricky. And then Monza, Belgium, Hungary. Alright guys, that's going to be that. Thanks very much for tuning in today. The season will be starting within the next couple of weeks. Next week, I presume. The next stream you'll see will be the team reveal, which will be taking place in a couple of days, I would imagine. So again, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to call it here. Have a nice day. Goodbye.